literally, when you start to get to know who you are, opinions become irrelevant, and hate or others' insecurities or others' expectations don't affect you as much because you know yourself. So I still remember the first time I was asked to speak, and this was in front of 10 people in an office, so this wasn't an actual speech on stage, and I was so nervous. I remember I felt weak because I was so scared and nervous. And I later found out that fear weakens your immune system, so I realized why I was so weak and why I was so nervous and scared. But I started realizing right now in this crazy time how many people are operating in fear, and how this is the worst time to be moving with uncertainty and with a little fear, because it's really hard to be resourceful. It's really hard to make the tough and the right decisions when there's fear involved. And fear literally makes you weaker and makes it harder to make intelligent and the right decisions. So I thought back, what got me to get over the fear of speaking? What got me to get over the fear of failure, the fear of what people think about me? And there's really 4 things that I've done in the past that have turned fear to confidence. And I want to share those with you in hopes that it helps somebody just move a little more strategically and have a little more confidence going into the next couple months. The first thing is, when I was super nervous for that speech, the more I prepped and the more I researched and the more I got excited about the content I was creating, the more confidence I had. So preparation and due diligence turns fear into confidence. So the more you prep, the more you research, the more you really find out the facts, and the more you actually prepare, the fear lessens. And if you have anxiety or you have fear of pressure, you haven't prepared enough. If pressure creates anxiety, you haven't prepared enough. So that's the first thing, is make sure you're prepping, you're doing your due diligence, you're consistently bettering your craft. Second thing is shifting my circle of influence and who I was around. When you're around a lot of people that are in fear, it's easier to become fearful. When you're around people that play victim, it's easier to play victim. When you're around people that focus on the negative, that are cynical, that are toxic, subconsciously it rubs off on you. So I had to shift who I was around and get rid of some people that were toxic, that always focused on the negative, that right now think there's no money being made and the economy's crashing. It is, but it's not about the economy, it's about your economy. It's about what's between here. It's about what you're doing to make sure your family's taken care of, and what you're doing to capitalize on the situation. That's a huge understanding that shifted for me, is when I got around higher level people, it subconsciously affected my state of mind, and I saw how they didn't fear as much because they replaced that with confidence based on how they lived and their actions, and that helped me. Third thing is, for me, and this was very important, strengthening my body and my mind. You can't separate your body from your mind, and when you're stronger physically, you're stronger mentally. So I can feel the effects of a workout 10 or 12 hours after I work out, and usually when I work out, I feel sharper throughout the day. So imagine someone that's not around the right people, that the only research they do is news, and they never work out. Can you imagine the negative thoughts that go through their mind? And they're always moving with insecurity and frustration versus confidence and certainty. That's why it's important to spark your body and spark your mind. What you put in your mind is what you think about and what you do, and what you put in your body is how you look and how you feel. So make sure you protect both at all costs. And the last thing, I think, for me in the last 4 or 5 years that have made the biggest impact in terms of my certainty and my confidence instead of fear is knowing myself. literally, when you start to get to know who you are, opinions become irrelevant. And hate or others' insecurities or others' expectations don't affect you as much because you know yourself. I remember when I got hate for videos, for whatever I posted, and some things actually got to me back in the day. And then I started realizing some of the things that got to me, a part of certain things they said might have been true. And that's why. And I didn't know myself, so I was easily influenced. When I started to work on myself and to really understand what my strengths were, who I was, who I wasn't, what my mission was, my vision and my purpose, things didn't affect me as much. When your intentions are pure, nothing affects your mental state of mind. So if you have pure intentions and if you know yourself, if you understand that fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and you understand what's the worst that can happen, right? And you understand that fearing people is always going to keep you small. If you understand that and you work on yourself, fear doesn't affect you as much. Now, I don't think you can ever really get rid of fear, but a lot of times there's no purpose until the actual event. And these are all things you can do leading up to it to cause you not to live in fear or live with a nervous feeling. So know yourself, really understand who you are, what you stand for, and the more you work on yourself, the less opinions you take, the less someone else can affect you. And if someone else can affect your mental state of mind, they have control over you. And you want to be the only person that controls what you do, where you're going, and what you stand for. Hey, what's up? And thank you for watching this video. If you enjoy this video and this content, make sure you hit the subscribe button below, put the notifications on, and I assure you, you'll love this content and these videos.